These are the Ecoroad EC8 Electric Scooters. I have it in red and I have it in black, and I feel like both of these scooters are really budget-friendly options for an electric scooter that still provide a lot of value and cool features that I actually enjoy. There are a few downfalls, so be sure to watch till the end to hear what I don't like about them. But in this video, I want to go through their features and share with you my experience actually using them. Starting off, both of these scooters come in at a price of $280, which I feel like is very reasonable for most people. And I've tested out scooters that are double the price of these, but aren't necessarily double the value in terms of their features and capabilities than what these offer you. So if you can get these at half the price of some other scooters and they're still able to perform decently, then I think that's a decent budget scooter for what you're getting with it. One of the things that you can see right away that this comes with is a carrying bag, which I find to be very useful. What I actually have inside of mine is an air pump in case my tires get low. I also have my charger that fits in here in case I have this on the go with me and I need to charge it wherever I'm at to give me more range. And it also includes inner tubes for your tires in case you ever get a flat. And also the toolkit to be able to take off your tire and stuff is also in here. So it's really nice that it comes with this. That way I feel more confident leaving the house knowing I have all the things I need right here in the bag. Now that is kind of a drawback with having tires like these, the fact that they can get flat tires, but the nice thing about air-filled tires like this is they're usually more comfortable to actually drive across rocks and unsmooth terrain and surfaces, so they're actually more comfortable, but you are prone to getting a flat tire if you hit something that's going to puncture it. Something else that helps to make this ride more comfortable as well, besides just the tires, is it also has rear suspension in it to help dampen down any bumps that you're going to go over top of. I wish they had suspension in the front of this scooter as well, but it's actually only in the rear. And when you're riding, you can actually notice a difference between no suspension at all versus just rear suspension. But my favorite would have been if they would have included rear and front suspension. That just gave me more confidence if I'm going over a curb or over the sidewalk. Right now, the front is kind of jarring if you go to hit a big dip like that or a bump, but the back of it is actually very comfortable to absorb a lot of the shock. And just so you know, some of the scooters that I've tested out that were double the price of this comes with no suspension at all. So the fact that this at least includes rear suspension is a step above even more expensive scooters than these are. Another feature that I'm pleased with is it has blinkers in both of the handlebars here to signal to traffic which way you're turning. I really like that. And I also like that it gives you an audible beeping noise. That way you remember that your blinker's on, so you actually remember to shut it off. And it has a little switch right here by your left handlebar here, and it's really easy to operate. And I think it's just a nice included safety feature. Not only does it have blinkers though, it also comes with a front headlight. The front headlight isn't that bright. It's not going to be able to let you see super far in front of you, but it will be an indicator to oncoming traffic that someone's driving towards them. And it also comes with a rear taillight that also blinks when you squeeze the handbrake, so that's nice. These scooters also fold down really easily. They have a handle in the front that allows you to quickly release the handlebars to drop down lower. And then it also comes with this little latching clip up by the handlebars that attach to the rear fender, which allows you to pick it up, which I find these scooters to be very lightweight. I think they come in at around 30 pounds, so they're super easy to toss in a car or pick up and haul with you compared to some really heavy, more powerful scooters. Those can be a pain to lug around because those come in at like 70 some pounds. So the fact that this is 30 just makes them really easy to not only carry and put in a car, but it also makes them more nimble when you're actually riding them. They're just kind of quick and zip around. It makes it super smooth to actually ride this as well. It also has a top speed of 19 miles an hour, so you can pick up some speed on these scooters. And these scooters feel normal size for adults as well. It's not like they're a smaller condensed scooter. Their EC6 Ecoroad electric scooter is a little bit smaller than this, but this one feels an appropriate size. Even the wheel size are 10-inch tires, which gives you more comfort as well going over rocks. So these feel like a normal size scooter. This scooter comes with 4 different speed modes. They have a walking mode, which is around 4 miles an hour, eco, which is around 10, and then drive, which is 16, and then sport mode, which goes the fastest, is obviously 19 miles an hour, which feels pretty quick on a scooter. The one thing I would say about the riding performance of these scooters is they don't have that fast of an acceleration when you take off. I have scooters that are more peppy than this when you're accelerating, and they feel like zippy and fun to ride. This is a little bit more of a gradual acceleration. Another thing I noticed when I was riding these is that when I was going up hills, they slow down a little bit. So if you have it in sport mode, you're not going to be able to go like 19 miles an hour. It was more like 17, which is still fairly quick, and it was still able to get me up a decent incline, but they do slow down a little bit going up hills. It has a 350 watt motor in the front, and I think it peaks out at 450 watts, which seemed fairly decent. I don't live in the hilliest area. If you live in like a mountainous, more hilly area, you'll probably notice the different speed changes with these, but I live in a relatively rolling style hills here in Michigan, and it seemed to hold up fine in the area that I ride in. The battery life is a little bit of a downfall compared to more expensive scooters. This will still get you a range though of 15 to 18 miles on one trip, but more expensive scooters, the ones that are like double the price of these, usually get you a range of like 24 miles on one trip. And then if you double the price of that, which is like 4 times the amount of this, then you can go like 60 miles on one charge. But this isn't bad if you actually think about how far 15 miles is still a decent distance to travel on a scooter, especially if you live in the city and you don't have far to go, you just have like a few blocks to travel. I feel like this would be an awesome commuter style scooter to take with you to work, especially if you can take the charger with you and charge it up at work and then take it home. It could be a really convenient option for you if you lived in the city. The base of this scooter is a little bit more narrow compared to other scooters, and this part of the frame kind of takes up some of the base as well, so it limits where your feet can stand, especially because you can't actually stand on the rear fender. It's not made to be a secondary brake. You just have to rely on the handbrake up here, or else you're gonna like break your fender off. So you can't actually step on that, so it limits the spot where your feet can stand. I never felt crowded or like I didn't have enough room when I was riding this, but I do want to point that out. Compared to other scooters, this one has a little bit smaller of a room to stand on. The screen display on this is going to show you your miles per hour or kilometers an hour if you wanted to show that. It will also show what speed level you're in, and it will also show your battery life. So it's pretty clean layout. It's nice to see all those metrics. This also comes with cruise control, so if you hold down the throttle for a certain length of time, it's going to automatically engage and give you a beep noise to let you know that it started. And then you don't have to hold down the throttle anymore, which is kind of nice. And you can choose to turn on the cruise control or turn it off if you want to. All you have to do is hit the home button 4 times in a row, and it's going to beep to let you know that cruise is on or cruise is off. Okay, so a few features that could be improved or make this a little better. First of all, like I mentioned, it only has rear suspension. If it came with front suspension, that would be a plus. Also, the front headlight is a little dim. It's not going to do much for illuminating the trail in front of you or the road in front of you, but it will signal to cars that someone is right there, so that could be maybe a little bit brighter as well, or maybe in a different location to just give you more visibility or something when you're riding around. So that could be improved. Another thing that I feel like would be much better for this scooter, and I've seen other scooters like this, so I can't really complain too much because a lot of scooter companies do this, but the way that you actually control all your speed levels and stuff is through the home button right here in the center of the screen. That makes it kind of a nuisance when you're trying to go from like eco to sport mode, because you have to double tap this button, and if you're riding and you want to switch your speed mode, it's hard to let go of the handlebars. You feel a little less safe, and then you're trying to push the button like 4 times to get it to increase to your next speed level. So that can just be a little bit tricky, and you can't go down and up. You can only toggle in one direction. So I think a better improvement would be if they took the speed level controls and put it on a separate dial off to the side. That way it was close to your thumb that you could just quickly press lower or higher speed levels. That would make this significantly better. It would just be so smooth to transfer between different speed levels, especially if you're in the city and want to slow down because there's people coming. You don't have to like stop change your speed level, start again, and then keep going. So that's one nuisance that I noticed when actually riding this. Like I said though, this isn't the only scooter I've seen that implements this push button on the top here. I've seen scooters that are double the price of this have that same feature of how to shift different speed levels. So the fact that this is half the price of most of their competitors and it still offers you a decent product, I feel like it's a good choice if you're interested in getting a budget electric scooter. I'm pretty pleased with it for the price. Again, yes, there are better scooters out there that can have more capabilities, longer range, but the weight that this comes in, the battery range that it still gets you, the blinkers and integrated lights, the cruise control, all that stuff for an affordable price of $280, I feel like that's a pretty decent option for people that are trying to save money, but still get an electric scooter to either have fun, go commuting, use it as a source of transport between work. So that's my thoughts. This is the Ecoroad EC8. I have a separate video where I review their EC6. If you haven't seen that, check that out because they're launching more scooters. So check them out if you want to. Ecoroad. There it is. Have a good day.